Hello and welcome to Inters Racing League Season 5, round number 3. I am, of course, your faithful host, Marty B, and it's time to get out your singlets and shorts, chuck another shrimp on the barbie and make sure those stubbies are cold, boys, because today we head down under to Albert Park, Australia, the backyard for a lot of these drivers on the grid today. 29 laps, 5.28 kilometres is the distance, giving us 16 corners. That is 10 to the right and 6 to the left. 4 DRS zones worth around about a second a lap. Passing is going to be a wee bit tricky around here, so I reckon pressure on the car in front is going to be a dictating factor when it comes to overtaking. And also, let's hope safety cars are to a minimum. Fingers crossed as we go racing here today. Now, of course, it wouldn't really be Sunday at the races without the man who the CIA go to when they're looking for inside information. I talk the garbage and he talks the good stuff. Broseph, welcome to Sky Race Control this evening.
Thanks, Marty B. Great to be back here with you in Sky Race Control. Of course, last week at Saudi, we had Gobby in here replacing you, and such a great job, and it was awesome to be in the box with Gobby again. But in round 2 at Saudi last week, we saw Prince actually in the Aston Martin. Of course, he returned to the top of the podium with a comprehensive performance on track. We had KLX in his familiar position of P2 when the checkered flag was waved. Gillard from Team Haas, P3, and I believe driver of the day. Outstanding drive from Gillard. He was really on fire last weekend. So he'll be hoping for a repeat performance here in Australia, of course. And Crispy in his Ferrari, a gutsy P4 with Tyler, Mr. Consistent, top 5 in his Alpine once again. So we're waiting on, I think, 2 more drivers to get in here. So I'll just let you know a couple of the reserves today for Alfa Romeo. We're missing both of the full-time drivers, Karama, the team principal, and Silderfort, both missing. Daniel Starr is in for one of those today. McLaren, so Dools is missing. We have Extinct Body in the McLaren. AlphaTauri, Rip the Beans is missing today, so replacing him is Sloth. I think we're waiting on Sloth to join. And Noob, I'm a Noob, is missing in the Haas and replaced by Miller today. So, Marty B, looks like it's a bit overcast out there. Hopefully it stays dry, but yeah, what are your thoughts on today's race, mate?
Well, I mean, this is meant to be the best of the best, so hopefully Turn 1 doesn't take anybody out as well as the dreaded graveyard. We all know that can just very, very quickly upset your day and ruin your race in a heartbeat. So I'm really not sure what to expect from this one. I see Jaco out on the meds on an outlap. Now, we did see that, I think last night, Santa did an outlap on the meds just to get his iron. Of course, the new rule coming in that you cannot use the intermediate tyre to do an outlap, which should have really been a rule from the start. Bit of a strange thing to do, but however, so that'll be Jaco jumping out on the meds. The meds are actually a process of a very, very fast race tyre around here. They don't tend to overheat like the softs do, and you can actually do a very, very nice time. So I reckon we should be looking into probably the 17s, the 1 minute 17s for these blokes, into the 16s if we're lucky. Now, just a quick bit of a funny piece of information. I have been reminded earlier by the thermometer that we no longer have, and I'm trying to get this right, we don't have a mash Haas or a mash Rari, but I tell you what we have out there is a Verk Merc. So we're still sitting with the rhymes here in Tier 1, which is fantastic, so I'll try and get that one right throughout the season. Verk and the Verk Merc out on an outlap.
The Verk Merc, I love it. Who's the thermometer for those out there who are unaware?
Of course, what is he currently? Nick Thompson. Used to be Tomahawk NZ, yep. Formerly known, yep. And also, for the boys who know him well, we call him the thermometer because he is always in hot form. So that's who we're talking about there in the other Mercedes.
No doubt about it, yep. Yeah, of course, NZ Thompson, he's in the Merc with Verk, and they've been doing an outstanding job the last couple of rounds.
I love it already.
Yeah, Verk, he got into a little bit of trouble last weekend and finished a little bit lower than expected because I think it was the weekend before they finished with a P4 and a P5, and those guys are matched really well together, and yeah, Verk made a terrific choice in picking Tomo as his number 1 driver. We've seen Miller post the first time with a 1:18.2, which is bloody quick. I think they did dip into the 17s yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, yesterday we saw Mercy. He took the win as McLaren's team principal yesterday in Tier 2, and Sloth, actually the reserve, who's in tonight, he was reserving for Mercedes yesterday with the second on the podium, and Bopton, the full-time Mercedes driver. He picked up P3 in Tier 2 last night on Friday night. We saw Powers run away with the win and the pole in Williams. Deadly Fuller was P2 in the Haas, who's had a very strong start to the season. Trenner picked up P3 in the McLaren, so McLarens have had a pretty outstanding round so far, and they really needed it. They're sitting last on the constructors at the moment, second last, with 60 points, just on top of Alfa Romeo on 34 points.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, who's currently leading the constructors in Tier 1?
Well, this is where it gets interesting, Marty B. We have Aston Martin tied with Williams on 117 points at the top of the table. Team Haas is third on 113, and then Ferrari sit fourth on 106 points, with AlphaTauri rounding at the top five, 93 points.
Ooh, okay, she's a pretty close battle at the front there. Okay, speaking of close battles, look at that, a 17-1 from G-Force. Get in there, the Ferraris. That's what we want to see. Not that we're biased, of course. We're never biased here in Sky Race Control, but go Ferrari.
Of course, never biased, but Prince is not far off that time at all, a 117.2, and KLX right behind that, just a few tenths off as well, and 117.5 there. So, and Gillard, look at that, right behind KLX, 5/100ths. So there's absolutely nothing in it on the top four, you'd say.
Yeah, I did say in the intro there we may see a 16, and I reckon with Track Evolution, to be honest, still 12 minutes to go left in this qualifying session. Track Evolution, G-Force, he is flying, so is Prince. We're going to see a 16 point something, possibly a 16.8, a mid to late 16 second run, I reckon. And just quickly, for those out there who are unfamiliar with this new track, the new layout, so of course turns 9 and 10 used to actually be a wee bit of a chicane. Now, I'm going by the old new layout. So in the old new layout, there's still 16 corners. Some would say there's 14. But in this case, so it does go turn 8, 9, 10, and then Graveyard is actually turn 11. So what's happened?
I've just seen Verk. Sorry, didn't mean to...
That's okay.
Yeah, Verk just invalidated there. He was on a bit of a hot lap. Yep.
Yeah, we were. That was on stream when that unfortunately happened. Now that was about turn 12, wasn't it, on the exit to...
I think it was 10. I think it was through the Graveyard.
10? Graveyard. So 10 is actually the start of... now, the DRS zone, the new DRS zone down that straight is actually around about turn 9, 10-ish, which some would argue is just an extended part of turn 8. But so those out there listening to the...
That's the pit lane entry where Gordo raped me yesterday. Shout out to Gordo.
Oh, shout out to Gordo. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, side by side. It's not the place where you go side by side. It's not into, it's a pit entry. That's cheeky. Not where the commentator wants to be saying that. He did. Yeah, he did. I love that piece of footage. What did it say? Check your rear view mirror. And all you can see is some screaming up beside you. Yeah, that was a fantastic bit of footage. Awesome stuff. So, like you said, the forecast is actually a bit overcast. I'm not sure if there's going to be any rain. Of course, it only rains about 2 to 3 hours a year in Australia, and the rest of it's about 55 degrees. So, is something like that? Is that about right?
Oh, look, it depends where you are. Australia is a massive country. It would probably cover about 26 countries in Europe if you were there, spread out over the same.
True.
Yeah. So it really does depend where you are. But you're right. In some places, it'll barely rain at all. But that's fairly remote. I just want to say it's good to see Broccolilli back in his Alfa Tauri. He's missed the last couple of weeks, I think, due to work commitments. So he's actually sitting in P6 at the moment with a 117.9. So straight back into form in the top 6. Well done, Brocco.
Fantastic form. These guys hopefully are going to be on fantastic form as we see, 17, what's that spread over? So it's about 9/10 is the top 7. Then we go into the 1 minute 18s. A few cars actually still to set a time. Nick Thompson currently on an outlap. Is there any penalties leading into this race from last race, Bryce, that you know of?
Great question. If the Statman Battlecat is listening, let's throw those up in the chat for me. I don't believe there is for Tier 1. No, I may be wrong, but look, Saudi was, we had 14 drivers finish last weekend, so there were a few DNFs, so maybe there was a bit of spill out from that, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough from the Battlecat. Yeah,
I'm sure we'll find out. Battlecat. Shout out to Battlecat. Shout out to the whole admin team, actually, just while we have a moment. The admins and the organisers for bringing together round number 3 of season 5. A fantastic job behind the scenes. Same as you, Broseph. A fantastic job behind the scenes, trying to sort everything out. I know it was a wee bit rocky for a short time there, but hey, we're back on our feet again. We've landed on our feet like a cat does, and like the cat does, in fact. But just a shout out to all the people doing all the hard yards behind the scenes.
Yeah, no doubt. Such is life, mate. The ebb and flow, you know what I mean? It always fluctuates. It's just filled with polarity. So you take the good with the bad, and you get on with it. That's for sure. So
absolutely.
I'm on board with Jacko at the moment, who's he's got the mediums on. He's in the Red Bull. He's done pretty well, you've got to say, for the first couple of races. He's partnered with his team principal, Scotty, there, and he's currently sitting on 14 points in P8 overall at the moment. So yeah, he's had a pretty consistent run so far. I'd expect Jacko with his pace to finish up in the top 10 if he keeps his nose clean today. Looks like he's just, as you said, doing what who was it yesterday? It was Santa out in those mediums, just
I think it
them
was
a run through.
I think it was. I mean, while we're on board with Jacko, do you think it's about time? Do you think it's that time?
Look, you go for it, mate.
Well, should we hang on? Who else have we got? Well, maybe we'll pick somebody on the softs. Who have we got? Let's see who we can find. Who have we got on an outlap? We've got Prince on an outlap. KLX.
They have.
Who else have we got?
Maybe an Alpine. Looks like they're coming around. Who have we got? Is that Tyler? No, Tyler's just finishing up. Who's the other one?
Oh, there it is. I did call it a 16.8 from G-Force. That is absolutely rapid. I'll tell you what, shall we sit with the current championship leader, Prince, in the Aston Martin, if I can get the words out correctly. The Aston. Sorry?
Marty B, ISO and Rhino just posted a 1:17.7 for Alpine to go up to P5. And Nick Thompson just goes up into P2, if you don't mind, in the Mercedes. So 1:17 flat. So, wow, just jumps in front of Prince there. So, outstanding drive there from Tomo.
Yeah, no, I reckon we might actually just jump on board with Prince for a hot lap. So, as ever, it is time to buckle up and neck up your pelicans, because down under, we're going to go for a hot lap into turn 1. It's a wee bit sketchy through there if you get on the gas too quickly. There's the first DRS zone of the lap down now into turn number 3. It is absolutely flat out. Gear number 8, the black box on the left. You're braking perfect line there from Prince coming through into 4. Now, this is where there was a few cars going side by side. Almost going track limits there through 5. Now, flat out through there in the new game. Wasn't really in the last game. But, hey, you've just got to keep your balls to the wall and go absolutely nuts. Misses that apex a wee bit. Now, this is the long part. That's actually turn 8, but it's going to be turn 9, 10 into 11 of Graveyard. DRS is right here. Flick it open like a windmill. As we know, hug that on the left-hand side to try and make the track as short as you can. Drift it to the outside, just around about the 50-metre board. You're on the brakes through here. Touch that curb. Here's all over that curb like a fat kid on a cupcake. Flick the DRS open there. Make it nice and short on the exit down now into turn number 13, the newly profiled turn 13, all over that curb. Man, how he's not getting track limits, I don't know. Flat on the exit here, and as we say that, he does go track limits. That is the commentator's curse for Prince, and it is box, and all she wrote. Oh, touches the wall on the entrance as well. He is not going to be happy with that lap.
Oh! Speaking of touching the wall, I'm on board with KLX at the moment, just going through Sector 2. He's going through that long section when he opened up the back of the wing. Oh, and yep, he's just going to pull over and let that Mercedes go by there. He was on a hot lap and, must have been distracted there. So unlucky there for the Williams #1 driver, KLX, currently in P5 at the moment. So that Mercedes going past him, I'd imagine maybe Verk. It certainly was. Verk's on his hot lap, so we're going to finish off with that if you don't mind. Marty
Where
B
is
just
Verk?
going through turn 12 and 13, coming into 13 at the moment. Hits that apex nicely, coming into the last turn at the moment. Will he line this one up? Very nice. On the power, nice and early, nice and clean out of there. He'll come through the Mercedes with a time of a 1:17.3. So there he does. Again, those two Mercedes drivers just can't seem to keep too far away from each other. So two Mercedes and two Ferraris all in the top 5 at the moment, with Prince splitting those two teams. P3 at the moment with a 1:17.2. So outstanding from those two teams at the moment, Mercedes and Ferrari.
It's almost like Prince is a mirror. He's got a Mercedes either side of him and then a Ferrari either side of them. So what a beautiful looking top 5 picture that is. Isn't that amazing? So what are we at? 17, 16s. Nick Thompson, what a fantastic lap. Now I do know actually historically from last year's game, Nick Thompson, aka the thermometer, is very, very quick around here. Now will this be the return of Nick Thompson? Will this be the old Tomahawk that we once saw and have a good race? He's had some bad luck over the time, but hopefully this could actually be the one that pulls him back into points and gets him towards that top spot in the championship. How many points does Nick Thompson have in the championship so far, Broseph?
Well, Nick Thompson's currently sitting in 4th place with 24 points. If we can get on board with the Haas driver at the moment, Gillard, he's just going through... Oh, he's just gone invalidated, unfortunately, going through turn 5, I think it was. Yeah, maybe out of 6 and 7, he may have come unstuck. Unfortunate there for Gillard. And Verk's picked up a 5-second grid penalty with a collision with Jacko coming out of turn 14 there. Maybe it was in the pits. Did you see that?
We did not. Where was that? Was unfortunate.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, final corner.
Oh.
So Jacko, he may have been collected completely from that collision because maybe he retired. I'm not sure, but that was unlucky.
That was very unlucky. Oh, a wee bit of a squiggle there from Miller as well. He is on a hot lap. That I'll tell you what, Bros, if there's going to be some track limit issues this time round, I reckon. It seems like Tier 3, I think, had quite a few time penalties towards the end of the race. Is that correct?
Oh, they certainly did. There was about a handful of drivers, maybe 5 or 6 drivers remaining with no time penalties.
Wow.
So it really came into play at the end of the race. It did also yesterday in Tier 2. We saw a bunch of those drivers in the top 10 with 3-second penalties. So, yeah, just another thing to watch out for today in Tier 1, of course. These drivers, a fair bit more demonstration of, talent when it comes to keeping it within track limits. So, you'd barely see too many of those on display today, apart from when the drivers are really battling side by side.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go side by side into the likes of maybe turn 5, it could push you a wee bit wide. A squiggle there from Miller on the exit of 13. But if you're going to go side by side, definitely through Graveyard, you are not going to have a good time on the exit. There's not a huge amount of runoff because there's just concrete. There is concrete walls. If you get it wrong, certainly out of turn 16, the final corner, if you're going to get that wrong, you are going to end your race very, very quickly. So hopefully that doesn't happen for anybody.
Yeah, that's right. I'm still on board with Gillard. He's just going through turn 11 there. Hits that one nicely. Coming into 12, rides that curb, finishes on the left-hand side of that curb, coming into 13. Takes a fair bit of that apex there, which is nice. I do like that. You get a bit of a roll through the car if you take that one. Opens up the back of the DRS. Let's see what time Gillard, can he improve? He's done a 17.5 and he doesn't improve. So he stays where he is in P7. Not a bad position there to begin from, and he'll have a fight for another podium, I'm sure, coming up. We've got about 40 seconds left in play here, so let's get some of these drivers coming around for their final lap, shall we, Marty?
Yeah, so we've got Crispy on an outlap. We've got Prince, Nick Thompson, and G-Force. I think G-Force is actually about to start his hot lap. Yes, he is. Down into turn 2 goes G-Force in the Ferrari into the DRS zone. That's going to be such a crucial overtaking part now down towards turn number 3, I reckon, using that DRS. So who else? Crispy, the Ferraris are doing well. I think everybody else, actually, the track is very, very full. There is a Mercedes, and I can't see what else. It might be a Red Bull in the pit lane, and that is about it.
The Alpha Tauri of Broccolilli coming around turn 13 at the moment. Sorry, coming into 13 right now. He's going to finish his lap. This will be his final one, so let's see what Broccolilli can do. He's in P12 at the moment. His first race back, as I said, for Season 5 at Inters Racing League. Let's see what the Alpha Tauri driver can do. Puts himself up in a P6 with a 1:17.3. Outstanding there, Broccolilli. Welcome home, mate. Well done.
Yeah, that's a fantastic lap from Brocco. Good to see the Alpha Tauri's up there. I see KLX has popped up to P number 3. So G-Force, Nick Thompson, KLX, Prince and Verk, your top 5. And Verk, that'll be all she wrote. Let's just have a look and see who else might be on a hot lap. We have got Prince coming around. I haven't seen any sector times at this stage, but he will be absolutely pushing to the limit. He's almost out of fuel. He's probably underfueled that car as much as he can.
Looks like Brian Bromley actually got a car
does not improve
in front of him, unfortunately. It looks like it may be in an Aston there.
Not sure. There is a Mercedes behind. Oh, sorry, McLaren behind.
Oh, Aussie! 2K goat, just losing it around 14, the final turn there.
Oof.
Coming across the line, I doubt he's going to improve. He won't. that could be qualifying all over, I'm afraid. KLX maybe? No, he's in the pits. That's it. So we've got G-Force. He will keep pole in Australia with a 1:16.8 in the Ferrari. Nick Thompson will hold on to P2 in the Mercedes. KLX P3 in the Williams. Prince P4 in the Aston, and Verk top 5 in the Mercedes. So as I said, 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes in the top 5. I don't think anyone knocked out those 5 drivers in the final minutes there of qualifying. So yeah, interesting stuff. We've got Broccolilli in P6, so he retained that one. Great lap from the AlphaTauri driver. Crispy in P7 in the Ferrari. Gillard P8 in the Haas. Ice Iron Rhino in the Alpine. Those 2 drivers in the Alpine back-to-back, P9 and P10 with Tyler there. Extinct Body is in P11 in the McLaren. You've got Miller in P12 in the Haas. Brian Bromley right behind him in the Aston Martin. We've got Aussie 2K Goat in the Williams, P14. Matty AU, P15 in the McLaren. Scotty the team principal in the Red Bull. Daniel Starr in the Alfa Romeo, and Jacko rounds out the 18 drivers in the Red Bull tonight on the mediums, keeping all his soft tyres in play. So interesting strategy there from Red Bull, you'd have to say.
Oh, absolutely. Just having a look at some of the stats here, I see the top speed of some of these drivers is only ranging from 328 to 335 kilometres an hour. So a lot of these guys running very high downforce, but I reckon in that DRS zone between turn 8 and the graveyard, that 5 to sort of 6 to 7 kilometres an hour, that could actually make all of the difference to make yourself a passing opportunity. That's going to be interesting. I would have thought there'd be a bigger difference, but there just wasn't.
Yeah, you know, we kind of know this, but what's going to count will be the exit, I think, out of corners and getting that run. Like you said, there's not many separation in the top speed of the drivers, so it's really who gets the cleaner exit and the run of the drivers, of course, with those 3 DRS zones really going to come into play. So there should be a fair few hairy moments and some overtakes. Of course, we saw last night a couple of drivers going 3 wide into a few corners, especially through Sector 2 there. After a safety car restart, the guys just bunch up, and it can get the adrenaline pumping, that's for sure. So hopefully they keep it relatively clean, especially after at the start of the race and after any safety car restarts. They just show a bit more patience out there, and we see a lot more driving.
A lot more that's it. It's just as simple as that. All right, the start, Broseph. It's all yours, mate.
No, you go. No
okay.
formation.
It is 5 lights out, and we have got that hold. Thanks, Codemasters, and away we go. G-Force gets a fantastic start. They are relatively well behaved so far. Looking a bit further down the field, 4, 5, 6 wide. Into turn 1, this is where it's going to count. Let's just hold your breath, Australia, as we do make it through turn number 2. There's not too many incidents. A little bit of bumping and rubbing, but that is racing down towards turn number 3. Now this is where the braking zone makes all of the difference. Let's look a bit further down. I'll tell you what, Broseph, they're pretty well behaved. In McLaren, there's a Haas. There's the 2 Alpines together through turn 4. 3 seconds. Multiple warnings for Extinct Body. 3 seconds already. That's really early. Oh, there's a car. Oh, I think there was an Alpine. There's a car out. So Ice Iron Rhino. He is into the wall. That was at, where was that? That was the exit of 5. He has been touched, and that is a caution. I do not see Bert Mylander coming out of the pit lane. Reduced safety car, do us well. There should be a virtual safety car. The stewards should be able to get this pretty well sorted out, and they have. There are your possible race strategies, mid to hard or mid, hard, mid. I think that's all going to change a bit further down the lane. Broseph, what did you see? Broseph?
I saw a Extinct Body jump up by 3 positions there at the start. He looked like, Gillard actually got back in front of him there. There was a little bit of squeezing going on, but those 2 cars were racing nice and tight. Tyler got a little bit of an inside run on Extinct Body and decided to pull out there and thought better of it. And, it was all relatively clean apart from Ice Iron Rhino. I'm not sure what happened, as you said. I think he may have hit the wall. Really unfortunate on lap 1. Virtual safety car. They should get that car tidied up out of the way pretty quickly, and we'll be under racing conditions pretty soon, you'd imagine, Marty.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. Shout out to the stewards doing a fantastic job. And as ever, I mean, every time around we make a shout out to Cody's and somebody sends them an email to thank them for the fantastic game that they have made. And I have to say there's been nothing so far that we can actually complain about. So let's hope that continues to be the case. So in the middle of the pack, just sitting with Extinct Body in the McLaren as we do go green again into the middle sector. Daniel Starr already after 2 laps. Broseph, there is a couple of 3-second penalties out there.
Miller's in the gravel.
He's gone straight. That was a bit sketchy from the Haas.
It was. Verk's right on his gearbox. Is he going to have a look on the inside? There's a few drivers up ahead, skittling for positions as well there. So
Crispy's
we'll see how
getting
this one
swallowed.
plays out up ahead.
Crispy's getting swallowed like bloody stuff that I can't say on
here.
here.
There's a McLaren wide. It's Extinct Body's gone wide through turn 10 out of the graveyard. Looks like Miller's getting a run too on the Alpine. Up on the inside, squeezes the Ferrari there of Crispy. Just lets him go. There was a bit of contact through there, so Miller getting his elbows out. Verk up on the inside of Crispy, just lets him go through, so a couple of position changes. And I think that's Aussie 2K Goat on the outside as well. Crispy's going to come into the pits. He's got some damage.
Yep, that Ferrari looks like it is actually missing a wee bit of the front wing there. Let's just sit with Crispy and see what happens here. I think you'll find it'll be a wing change and it'll be hards to the end. Yeah, missing a right-hand end plate there. Sad time for Crispy. However, the other
Prince
Ferrari...
is at a moment.
Oh, where is Prince?
So
Prince
he's up in the P6.
Oh, yeah, okay. Down towards turn... that's turn 4. Prince in the Aston Martin... just going to bide his time, I think. Nick Thompson up on the softs up in P2. He's having a fantastic go so far. He is right up G-force in the gearbox. There's only a couple of tenths in there. I tell you what, Brocco's actually started to drop back a wee bit though on the meds. 2-3 cars on the soft. Is there any other action happening across the field, Broseph?
Oh, look, Tyler's really pushing at the moment on the back of Miller. Yep, in the Alpine, just going through turn 9, and looks like Miller is
Miller's having trouble.
There's
McLaren has a bit of a problem there on the exit to Graveyard. Oof.
Yeah, yep.
He's going to need to change his undies. Yep.
Yep, unfortunate there from the McLaren driver, just getting out of sorts there. And Verk up on the inside into P9, so he takes advantage of that little escapade. So on board with Tyler I am at the moment, who's keeping it pretty clean, going through 13 and 14. And Miller's actually up 5 positions at the moment, so he's pushing very hard in the house, and he's just one position, a couple of positions behind his teammate Gillard in P5 at the moment. The guys up front are keeping it fairly clean. The top 3 have got a 2.5 second to Broccolilli in P4 at the moment.
They do. The top 3 separated by less than half a second. Nick Thompson, I wonder how long those softs are going to go as Brian Bromley gets another penalty. There goes Tyler on Miller. Down and towards turn 3. Oh, squiggle there from the Haas as well. I'll tell you what, Miller's not having a good time. I wonder if he's...
out.
Jacko's out.
Jacko is out.
That is
so
the
Brian
first
Bromley
safety
and Jacko,
car.
Yep, had a massive collision into turn 1. I've got to say, Jacko was looking like he had too much red cordial. I don't know. During the virtual safety car, he was up on the inside of his teammate and all over one of the corners. And I don't know, he just looked a bit out of sorts. So unfortunate that he's out so early for Red Bull. Brian Bromley, he's still in the race. I'm not sure if he's got any damage. We'll have to see if he comes into pit. And we'll have to see if any of these... I'd have to say Nick Thompson will probably come in off the softs.
Yeah, but does he go hards or mid and wait for another safety car? I reckon he's probably smart enough to go the mids, knowing full well that chances of another safety car or even a virtual about halfway through the race are probably going to be pretty high. Tire degradation around here is not too bad. Those softs would do 10 or 12 relatively easily.
He's boxing.
But is he boxing?
The top 2 are boxing. G-Force is in on the mediums, and KLX, of course, G-Force last weekend, he was on the hards, and he did about 92, 93% of the race on those hards. Pulled in with a couple of laps to go and threw the softs on, got the fastest lap and fell down to about P7, I believe it was, after fighting for the race and for the race win in contention with Prince, KLX and those likes. So KLX stays out with Broccolilli. Broccolilli's up into P2. Gillard into P3. He stays out. So does Prince into P4. Tyler as well. Miller up into P6. Verk into P7. And, so those front runners, just the 2, I believe it was, who came in. Yeah.
Looks like, not the front runners, but it was G-Force, Nick Thompson and Scotty. So I did say Nick Thompson could have gone to mids, and he has. So they are going to be a little bit faster, certainly on the restart, faster than the hard tyre. But G-Force and Scotty have gone on the hards. Crispy still sitting down on the softs in P15, just outside the points. Everyone else, like you say, Broseph, is just sitting on those 4-lap-old meds, and they are going to have to be boxing again. Let's hope safety cars do not breed safety cars, just like rabbits breed rabbits. I don't want that at all. Let's just cross our fingers.
I mean, the start of the race was really clean. You've got to say,
really
so
was.
As long as KLX, he is the head steward at Inters Racing League, so I believe KLX, he's going to get away at the right time, and I think it's just going to, it's going to flow rather nicely. These guys know what they're doing. So, yeah, I think it'll be a nice, clean restart from these guys. Just unfortunate we've lost 3 drivers so early. Brian Bromley and Jacko and Ice Iron Rhino. So 3 DNFs, just 5 laps in.
Yeah, just a bit of a flashback to last week where we did have the safety car issue on the restarts. Now, what Codemasters does is when it brings the safety car in, it still holds your throttle if you get too close. So with a bit of luck, these guys have read all the reports that happened. It was nobody's fault. It was just a game thing, I believe. But you've just got to be so careful because it can be absolutely dangerous on the restart. So let's just see where KLX goes, and it is gone. It is green. So, oh, sorry, no, it's not. The safety car is still there. My screen, I thought, did a funny thing there for a second. But I was too busy looking at the stats on my computer. On the restart, I reckon he's going to do what happened yesterday, and he's just going to wait until the main straight, and then just sort of do a wee bit of a wiggle and just try and catch people off guard.
Yeah, if anyone's going to know that the safety car needs to completely go into pit lane before you start going, it's going to be KLX. He dealt with that during the week from last weekend. I think it was last weekend. Unfortunately, a couple of drivers getting caught out with the safety car restart. So Gillard, I reckon, in the house, he'll be licking his lips at the moment. Of course, he's feeling the pressure from Prince behind him. There's no one quicker on track, you'd say, at the moment than Prince. So as long as Gillard can get a fairly good start, I think he will consider his chances for another podium fairly high this weekend. We've got Tyler as well in P5. He just can't seem to get out of that P5 slot. KLX will be very happy to be in P1 at the moment. He'll be glad that Nick Thompson and G-Force both boxed because it looked like they were getting a little bit of a gap on P3. It wasn't much. KLX was right there. But I think he'll just be happy to have some clear air in front of him and see if he can get a race win and just let those guys behind him battle it out. So, yeah, interesting to see how this unfolds. You've got the 2 McLaren drivers fairly close by in P8 and P10. So hopefully they can somehow work together, put a bit of pressure on Aussie 2K GOAT, the reigning champion from Tier 2 last season.
Yeah, now just going back to what you were saying between Prince and Gillard, I can tell you that Prince's fastest lap so far is a 21 flat, and Gillard has done a 20.940. So there's about a tenth in it between them. Their tyres are on the same, 14%. Their top speed, Gillard is 323 and Prince is 324. So running probably much the same setup.
He's off.
Oh, there we go.
He's got a great start too. He's up over 7 tenths in front of Broccolilli at the moment, and Gillard is right on the back. He's not too far at all, and Prince is a little bit further behind. So, yep, Gillard just waits patiently. It's a nice, clean restart, it looks like, from behind there. Oh, Verk's around. He's hit the wall. He's lost his front wing.
Where was that? That was...
Turn
that was an
one,
exit
too
of
much
turn.
on the throttle.
That's what we were saying. Yep.
Turn 2.
Yep.
Just really unfortunate.
Unfortunate for the Verk
He'll
Merc.
be praying for another safety car, but we're gonna get on with the race. We'll move up forward. It looks like a fairly good restart. G-Force looks to be putting on a bit of pressure. That's the closest car to anyone at the moment. He's on those fresh hards. Let's see if he can make some early moves.
He's not even burning down here. I'll tell you what, he's going to pick up a slipstream from Aussie 2K in front of him down here. G-Force, let's just see what we can see. So G-Force's top speed is actually only 317. He's doing right there. That is the quickest he is going. So look, all over that curb, Broseph. All over that like butter on a piece of bread, mate. I didn't realise you could ride it that hard. But, I mean, that's what she said. So let's get on with it.
This man clearly knows what he's doing. He's right on the back of Aussie 2K.
Honestly, I've never seen anyone ride that so hard.
He's up on the inside. Says, "Here I come, Aussie, sorry." Aussie's feeling the pressure. He gets swollen up by Nick Thompson, who is right behind G-Force and gets the move done. So Aussie, just is going to have to take his licks there, unfortunately. Coming up into turn 1. Very nice and clean there from those drivers just going through turn 1 and 2. We'll head a little bit further up. No, it looks like the action is here on Nick Thompson at the moment. Coming up on the inside of the Ferrari. Will he send it?
He's just going to... He's got the faster tyre. So, but unfortunate for Nick Thompson, he's just stuck in this little bit of a train here just now, which is actually going to be not making the most of those fresh meds. So 3 laps. There are only 4 laps less than the other drivers up the front, but through turn 6... into 8. He's just going to try and pick up the slipstream. Who are you sitting with?
No, I'm definitely sitting on board with Nick Thompson. Just watching G-Force. Nick Thompson is using himself as a... Well, he's using G-Force as a slingshot at the moment.
Extinct's flashing. He's already... there's a little bit of touch there down the inside. Is Nick Thompson going to go? No DRS just yet, but he gets a slipstream from the McLaren. He's boxed out. He is boxed out. This is where it is happening. Oh, the McLaren goes really, really deep under braking. Nick Thompson, what a fantastic move.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's brilliant racing. Takes the McLaren, and he is going to keep following G-Force. G-Force's tyres are going to be probably better in about 10 laps' time than Nick Thompson's, but let's just stick with this battle for now. By crikey, that got my adrenaline going. Let's go.
Sure did. Miller actually got up on the inside of Tyler going into turn 14, but just couldn't get it done and had to pull out. Yep, that was great racing there. Extinct Body just missed out. Unfortunately, just couldn't keep it together with those two fast. Miller is actually around in turn 2.
There's a McLaren round. There's cars out. That's Miller and Aussie 2K. They're out.
Oh, God.
Oh, slow down, boys. Oh, that's three more cars. Around. Matty, Extinct, and Scotty all out. All up the road. Oh, red flag. We have our first red flag. That was horrible.
Like it was Miller who came unstuck there with the Ferrari behind him going into turn 1 and turn 2. I wasn't on board. Did you catch it?
We did see, who was that? That was the McLaren, I think, that went round on the exit of 2 and touched the wall. And then, gosh, I'd have to go back through the footage. There was someone that came through and collected him. And then further up the road, there was 3 more cars that all got demolished as well. Now, this is new territory, Broseph. We haven't actually had on stream yet a red flag. So, to be honest, I'm not sure what happens here. Looks like we're waiting for a bit. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous too. Come on, Cody's. If ever you've got to get it right, I'll tell you what, now is the time.
You know who's going to benefit from this will be Nick Thompson, because he was absolutely flying with G-Force on the new tyres, just cutting through the field there. And he got caught up in that mess. It looked like it was Extinct Body who he tried to avoid the action. I'm not sure. This is a bit of speculation. He did get himself turned there after turn 2. He turned around, and as the other cars coming through, I don't think really may have slowed enough for the yellow flag, and yeah, it looked like maybe 4 or 5 cars just in one little crash there, completely gone. So looks like we're going to get a restart this session right now. So let's see. Yep,
oh wow,
they're on track.
Okay, they're on track.
We have 5 lights. You take it away. I'll just check the chat and see if there's not a real red
perfect.
flag.
I actually have to. So a lot of cars have changed their tyres during that red flag. One that has not is Daniel Starr and Verk, and the Merc has not changed his tyres either. So, and then there were 10. So 8 cars have DNF'd, which is just, oh my goodness, I don't even have words for it, but that was a horrible, horrible incident. Let's hope the Halo saved some lives and all of those drivers are actually okay. Shout out to the medical crew there who were on the scene actually very, very quickly, so pulled the drivers from their cars. I believe we will wait and hear back from the ambulance staff to see if those guys are okay. So on with the show, we must continue. So Tyler P5, he can't get out of that P5 spot down through the straight where the DRS is not open. He is going to get done by G-Forces, absolutely flying on those mids, and Crispy is going to be the other driver that goes through now into turns 10 and 11 of the graveyard. So again, no DRS. They're all just going to get the slipstream. Nick Thompson sitting down on the hards, who also changed actually because he was sitting on the mids before the red flag. Again, red flag is a new thing in the 2023 game, and that is exactly how it runs. It just restarts like a normal red flag would. Shout out to Cody's. You did that one right. Let's go. Good on you. So G-Forces, I'll tell you what, G-Force all over the back of Prince. Down the main straight we go. Let's go, says G-Force. He has got the speed. Is he going to have a look? He's probably going to play it safe. I think the force is strong in this one. A bit of a wiggle there from Prince as well. Let's just stick with this battle. G-Force absolutely flying. He's going to probably put a bit of pressure down the inside of Prince, and there he goes like a Sunday drive, and he says, thank you very much. I'll have that.
Oh, we've got an Alpine off. It looks like it's Tyler. He's into the gravel, unfortunately.
Oh, as G-Force gets a 3-second side-by-side with Prince through turn 5.
Wow.
Oh, that's unfortunate for G-Force. That is probably going to hinder his race further down, unless if there's no more safety cars, 3 seconds may not matter.
Prince is trying to get a run back here on the Ferrari.
He won't do it. He's not going to get him, I don't think. Prince is too smart for that. He's not going to go side-by-side through graveyard.
Yeah, look, I'm just getting a bit of feedback from those drivers who DNF'd, Marty. And, yeah, look, they're all just saying, look, there was nothing they could do about that. It was just unavoidable, cars all over the track. So, yeah, it looks like that's just the way it goes sometimes. I haven't seen any talk about restarting the race, so it looks like the red flag may have been the right way to go here with the game, and yeah, we'll carry on so far.
Okay, now look, have you had any word back from the medical staff? Are those drivers okay after that?
Too early to tell, mate. Too early to tell. Absolute carnage.
Okay. I did see them all moving around in the cockpit, so hopefully those guys haven't got any major injuries. Hopefully the Halo saved a few lives. Shout out to safety. Whew, crikey. All right. On with it we go. So already KLX has got 2 seconds on Brocco up the top of the field there. The AlphaTauri may be struggling on those hards, unsure at the stage. I'll tell you what, though. The Ferraris are doing fantastic, and they're the only cars left in the field on the mids. So both, what have we got? GeForce, Nick Thompson, and Daniel Starr with penalties. Let's just bring those up and see how we go. Have you got any random stats about KLX for us, the current race leader?
Well, I know he loves finishing in P2 more often than not. The last 2 seasons, Season 3 and Season 4 of Inters Racing League, he's finished in P2. He's currently sitting second on the table at the moment for Season 5 in the Williams with 40 points. So he's just 1 point behind the leader on the standings in Tier 1 with Prince on 41 points. So KLX will be happy to be in P1 right now, and he's got 2.5 second lead on Broccolilli. That's his nearest competition. GeForce and Prince are not too far down the road, but KLX will be, I think he'll be fairly happy with this. He's on 1 lap old hards, and he's going to go to the end of the race, you'd imagine, on these. And yeah, shout out to KLX.
He's absolutely going to go to the end. Now, do you reckon those meds are going to go to the end? There's still 15 laps to go, including this one. Are meds going to do 17 laps?
GeForce and Crispy will absolutely be able to tie a whisper those all the way to the end. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Yeah.
Just get out and gently caress their rim, do you think?
That's the way, mate.
Just caress them as they're going around. Just whisper soft nothings into their ears.
That's right. That's right.
Sounds good to me, mate. All right. So 2.7 actually. Oof, whoa, what can you see?
Just got the move done on his teammate. Of course, Verk pulled over to let him through. He's on the
slightly
newer
older
tyres.
tyre.
Yeah, Nick's on the newer one, so just let him through there. Yep. Verk's coming through though. Yep, they're going to use this to their advantage. Here's the slipstream, so this is smart.
That is smart play with the DRS on the Verk Merc. Yeah,
yep.
Love it.
Not going to hold each other up. Just going to use as much speed as they can, going back and forth, towing each other up the road. See if they can bridge that 4.5 second gap to Crispy. And looks like
I think Gillard's just got Prince. There. Was that Gillard just got Prince? Sorry, GeForce. Hang on. Which way around did that just go?
It was Prince got GeForce.
But DRS here. Oh, is that? That's going to be Prince is going to be putting Gillard under pressure, I imagine, and Gillard's catching up to Brocco using that DRS on the same age of tyres though, but DRS is really going to be Brocco's downfall. Unfortunately, he is 2.7 behind KLX. So DRS train, yeah, a few cars. The 2 Ferraris have just got to be a wee bit careful here and use those tyres if they can to try and get around Prince and Gillard.
Yeah, no doubt. If they can work together, try and put a bit of pressure on Prince. Of course, if there's anyone that you want to try and bring unstuck, you'd want to pick out a different target than Prince, of course, the reigning champion. Cool as ice, that bloke on the track, no doubt about it. So GeForce not really getting much of a run at the moment. He's probably the closest car to have a look. Prince is pretty close to Gillard, and Gillard's actually is really on the back of the AlphaTauri at the moment. So let's stay on board with Gillard and see if he can get a move with the DRS open up as they come into turn 11. He's going to put the pressure on. He's going to have a look. No, he's going to wait.
No, he's going to wait. Oh, by crikey.
He's going to wait. Broccolilli just holding
These
firm
guys are
there.
all going to wait.
GeForce really putting the pressure on the back of Prince. So this is where they're going to have to get on the brakes nice and hard. Yep, very, very well executed there from all those drivers. I had a bit of PTSD there, right there. Shadow just absolutely sending me into the shadow realms yesterday. So that's the way it goes, you know.
Brocco got a fantastic exit there down the main straight. He did not get taken. Oh, that would have been probably a warning there. He did not get done by Gillard. So I wonder if that thing's a little bit quicker in a straight line than the rest.
You know, it could well be. It could well be. So we'll keep an eye on that one, Marty. It looks like Nick Thompson and Verk, they're just going side by side, back and forth, trying to bridge that gap. It looks like they've lost a bit of time, actually. It's out to 6.5 seconds now. So they really need to get their head down, those Mercedes drivers. Of course, they're both sitting in the top 10, so it's going to be good points either way, what happens, as long as they bring the cars home.
Yeah, now, just another quick bit of information. I can see that Gillard actually has relatively fresher tyres than the two in front.
Prince,
you're right.
It's just all over Gillard.
Oh, okay. Oh, he really is. Oh, there's going to be a look. Oh, Prince, he's a bit too smart for that. A little bit of rubbing there. Oh, I tell you what, wow. That is the move. That's it right there. G-force goes through as well on Gillard.
Did they just...
There was touching. There was touching and rubbing.
Presents itself, and Prince just went, hello, I'll take that one.
That was like Silverstone with Lewis Hamilton going past, I forget who that was now.
Up on the inside, the Ferrari's got the run on the Aston Martin.
Oh, what a fantastic view down the main straight we've got.
Oh, wow, they're going to have to go side by side through here. Oh, well done. Absolutely beautifully executed by those drivers. Gillard looks like he's got a good run on the Ferrari as well. He's going to go on the inside. He's on the hards. Will he send it? He absolutely does not. He gives just enough margin there to the Ferrari, so great driving there. Crispy, of course, looking to pick up the scraps in P6 on the back of that Haas as they go through turn 5. This is where it can get a little bit unsettling, but these guys are really putting it together here on track. It's lap 17 at the moment. There's just about 12 laps to go, and this has been outstanding these last couple of laps at the moment. Great racing. The Ferrari's up on the inside, Marty.
It really is. The two Ferraris are going to be looking. Oh, there's a little bit of... Oh, no! Oh, there's a Ferrari! Oh, G-force is out! G-force is out. That was...
Gillard, there was contact with Gillard.
There was contact with Gillard.
Just could not keep it safe, and we've got a safety car, so that's another one DNF. Unfortunate. Bugger.
Yeah, look, to be honest, we were actually on board with that. I'm not sure whose fault that. I'm not sure if there was anybody at fault there. That was just rubbing. Perhaps Gillard could have gone a wee bit to the left, but it's only speculation, really. It's sort of,
6 to 1, half a dozen the other, isn't it?
That's right.
It really could have gone either way then, but of course, if there's anything to come out of it, I'm sure we'll find out. Oh, and late diving there to the pits by Gillard. He crossed the pit lane entry there, so he may be getting reported for that one.
Everybody is boxing. Everybody's boxing. Except for, let's see what Daniel Starr does. He's on 11 lap hole hards.
Prince has pulled the trigger on the softs.
Oh, yeah, everybody's coming in. Even Daniel Starr pulled the trigger on the soft. Ooh, that's a bit keen.
Is bold.
That is a bold move. But mind you, we're going to do another 2 under safety car. We'll do this entire lap, and then maybe another one, and then we should go green. So by the time that happens, it's still going to be 10 laps, isn't it? So, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Have a gamble. I mean, Verk and Daniel Starr have done the same, so... Yep, that'll bring them together. It's good for Daniel Starr. He was a few seconds behind. So we're going to, I guess, see how much more powerful the softs are. And it's good these guys have still got a set of softs after qualifying as well. Just means they didn't burn one up when they didn't need to, sorry. Stat-wise, what can I tell you? I can't tell you a huge amount. The fastest laps over the top 5 drivers are all covered by 0.4 of a second. And Nick Thompson is in there as well. Tyler's fastest is a 21.437. So P1 to 5 and 7 all covered by 0.8 for their fastest laps. So a lot of consistency out there for these boys. Of course, we'll get BattleCat in to run the numbers on the information pulled from this wonderful, wonderful app that we're currently using. And we'll see who actually wins out number-wise after the race. It's always interesting to see. Shout out to you, BattleCat. Crunching the numbers and putting all that information up for the drivers to see. It's fantastic. Soft. So, well, how many safety cars is that? That's 2, 3, 7? Not even sure. 3, I think. No, 2, because we've had a virtual. Gosh, I'm losing track. Been out of the game too long. I missed last week's race, you see, and that's what happens. So I just get all thrown off. All right, so let's go another safety car lap. We're going to go this time round. Nick Thompson and Verk in the Verk Merc P7 and P8. Daniel Starr at the rear of the field on those softs. So Prince P5 on the soft. We're going to probably see a few moves from that bloke as we go under racing conditions. Broccoli. Gillard has actually done, let me tell you, Gillard has got a 336 kilometre an hour top speed, so he, in theory, should be making moves down towards Graveyard after turn 8 and 9. Fastest lap of 1 minute 20.9. Sector 1, not too bad, and it looks like he may be running a little bit less downforce than some of the other cars. So Meds, Crispies are actually on about 6% wear, and the Verkmerk softs are already on 3%, so he's going to want to try and look after those as best that he can.
We lost 5 cars in that DNF. In that pile up in turns 1 and 2. So it's just not a lot those drivers could do there. We saw a couple of cars, as I said, turn. There was a McLaren, there was a Haas. Just cars crashed in the middle of the road. So anyone coming through there was just not a chance. I saw a bit of Matty Ayu's footage coming through. He was going left, he was going right. There was wreckages. Looked like he was going through the bloody, I don't know, the tip or something. There was that much carnage, and he just couldn't get through. Tried to squeeze through on the right hand side of the wall, and just took his front left tyre out. So really unfortunate. You gotta feel for those drivers who just out here trying to do their thing on a Sunday for their teams, and it's a lot of DNFs.
There's a lot of DNFs. I reckon they're probably going to be back in their shed, cranking up the barbecue and having a couple of brewskis just to try and ease and calm their nerves as we go back under racing conditions now. Of course, KLX is going to be hanging on to that restart as ever, forever. He's hanging on, and he goes green. Gets a relatively good jump there. Let's just go and see what's happening with Gillard, who also gets a pretty good jump on Crispy in the Ferrari behind down into turn 1, almost just pulling the car up there with Gillard almost into the rear of the AlphaTauri. By crikey, that was close. That was no good. Crispy's all over Gillard as well. Down into turn number 3 we go, pulling the car up nicely. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin of Prince. That was a cent and a half. That's those soft tyres for you. We did say that there'd be some moving around from that bloke, and look, he's already moved up a position. That'll be a warning for Prince as well. He's got to watch that. I reckon that's a couple of warnings. We'll have to check race director after the race, but the battle is going to be at this stage for KLX, Brocco, Gillard and Prince. They're going to have to watch out for Prince because he's going to be going
Brocco's got a
absolutely
good run here. He's going on the outside of the Williams into P1 at the moment, coming into turn 9
into Graveyard we go, and he gets
done.
it done. No DRS for 2 laps after the safety car. Oh, look at
KLX is coming back on the outside.
KLX.
Into turn 11. This is going to be interesting. Can they fit them both around this turn? Yes, they can. Very nicely. And the Williams around the outside gets the job done. Prince, of course, on the softs, looking to put a lot of pressure on the back of that AlphaTauri coming into turn 13. Lines it up nicely. He's going to get a good exit out of 14. Watch this. Prince is really going to show him how it's done here.
Slipstream. He's going to burn up a Storm.
Yeah.
Down the main straight, but it's not going to be enough as he flicks off the ERS button. So just got to keep those tyres nice and cool if he can, and just wait maybe for the DRS, or have a look down now into turn number 3. But they are both burning together, trying to defend that position. The brakes glowing red on that car. A little bit of contact there. The rubbing is racing, and that is not a bad move. Gets it done, makes it stick like sticky date pudding, and off up the road he goes towards KLX.
He does. Broccolili's under a little bit of pressure. He's lost a position there after really taking the lead momentarily against KLX after that restart. So he's doing pretty well. Gillard's putting a bit of pressure on him. Coming through turns 8. He's not going to get the job done.
Almost pushing him around. This is exactly where the incident with Gillard and G-Force was. His contact on the rear of the AlphaTauri of Brocco.
They did well to keep that
together
there, those cars. They really did. Crispy just having a very good look from the back of this, and Tyler, of course.
Tyler's looking to pick up the pieces, isn't he? I reckon he's just sitting there, just quietly, having a cup of tea in the cockpit of that car, just thinking, yep, do you know what? You guys can scrap. I'm keen. Oh, it's just like a fight outside a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, you just let them go. You let them throw chairs. You let them hit each other with bats, and then you just pick up the pieces and take their missus home. For them, it's that type of thing, isn't it? Really.
Well, I think Tyler, he's got the mentality here. Like, I'm pretty sure Tyler's 17, just coming into his own. He's a fantastic driver and really good kid as well. He's kind of letting these adults up in front kind of squabble it out, and he's just sitting back watching these idiots go at it. And He's just going to keep it nice and composed, and as you said, pick up the pieces when the opportunity presents itself. So, yeah, he shout out to Tyler. He's does a bit of martial arts as well, so he's got that calm kind of steel mentality. Nick Thompson and Verk's really on the back of Tyler at the moment. Looks like he's going to absolutely get the job done on the inside. Very clean there.
We'll pick up a bit of marbles as well. Oof.
No doubt. No doubt. A few marbles on the tyres.
Oh, yes. You see, no one really rides that curb.
Pushing. Prince is pushing. He's got the lead into turn 11.
Oh, he goes very deep.
Goes wide. He's on the curb.
Almost loses the car. Oh, the AlphaTauri is going to go down the inside of Broccolilli as well. Is Prince going to hold it on the outside? Oh, he does. I'll tell you what, Brocco
Gillard sends it up on the inside.
Oh,
makes contact with the AlphaTauri.
A bit sketchy. Let's
just rubbing wheels. It's all right.
Oh, Gillard almost goes round again.
Oh,
3 seconds for Gillard.
Penalty. Yeah, I don't know about that.
He went well wide. Yeah, well wide. Yeah. Oh, and he's still pushing. Gillard is just like a bull at a gate. He is pushing super, super hard. And we've got a fantastic view over the rear wing of the Aston Martin of Prince. As they come down. Oh, they're side by side again.
Gillard will not die wondering.
As Gillard
comes back on. He did not see
round.
Crispy on the outside, and he made contact, so I think it was just a little bit of lack of awareness there. Really unfortunate for Brocco. He was having a great race.
He really, really was an unfortunate moment, and that's what seems to be coming out of Australia this weekend, is some unfortunate moments. But it is what it is. Thank crikey it didn't bring out a safety car. 5 to go. What an exciting race so far, Broseph. It's absolutely fantastic. The Merc on the 5-lap soft. Prince still sitting in behind KLX. He's probably just saving a wee bit of battery there, and he's just going to send it, I reckon, on the main straight. But he's putting the pressure on. I'll tell you what, Prince has got to watch out for those softs, because in another 3 or so laps, they're going to start dropping off. And if he's sitting in that dirty air of KLX, they're going to be overheating, and he's going to a lot of understeer there, so they're probably already going off.
Crispy's gone deep. Verk is almost up alongside him in P4, but he lets him go into turn 14. So Verk's got those 5-lap-old softs as well, so they're going to start wearing off. He's going to have a look on the inside of Crispy. No, he's going to pull out and just let him go there. So Prince needs to get the job done, I reckon, Marty, if he's going to win this. Oh, Crispy! Big snap out of turn 2, and Verk gets up on the inside. So Crispy drops down a position into P5.
Oh,
he's going to have to tuck back in, and Tyler, of course, putting pressure on him.
This is those bits and pieces that Tyler was looking to pick up. He is just going to continue to push and put the pressure on. He's got 2-lap pressure tyres in Crispy as Crispy goes wide. Wee bit of a squiggle there from Tyler as well in the Alpine down in P6. Beautiful exit there from Tyler. I'll tell you what, if he can get a slipstream on Crispy here, he might actually get this position back. But Verk up into P4, not looking too bad. I think Prince might have a wee bit of work to do from now on, as Verk's sitting 1.3 behind Gillard, with Crispy right actually behind him. There's a little bit of a train forming. Who are you sitting on board with?
I'm on board with Tyler at the moment, who's trying to get a run on Crispy. He's got slightly fresher tyres, and Prince is up into P1. Prince got the move done, and KLX and Gillard, I think, it's Prince and KLX who are really battling for P1 at the moment, and Gillard's just brought himself up into contention for maybe slightly higher than P3.
Oh, what an exit from KLX. He's going to get the job done here again, I reckon, on Prince, as he's going to have a look down into turn 1. He sure is, and see you later, says KLX. And I'll tell you what, the Haas of Gillard's going to try and pick up the pieces as well. Those softs are going to be going off for Prince. They're not going to be as good as he would have hoped. He needed to make the moves a bit earlier and try and get away. As we know, Prince does very, very well. Breaks out of that DRS zone early in the piece and just runs away with it. This is a different storybook. This is no longer a kid's book. This is an adult-only magazine for this bloke this time around.
Well, and, open it up and you'll see the centerfold is KLX, because he is wide open down sector 2 at the moment. He's got a 5, and he's got about 5 tenths on Prince at the moment, so he's looking pretty good. Gillard in P3. Prince is going to have a look down into turn 9. He's not going to get the move done, but very nice through turn 10. He opens up the back wing. There's about 4.5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is right where the prize fighters like to show off their ability. This is where they make their money and shake their fat thing. Verk is right on the back of Crispy in P5. Very sketchy on those softs, you'd have to say, Marty.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you what, if KLX can just push and try and hang on to this first place, those pages are going to be stuck together by the end of it, mate. So Prince is going to have to just make the absolute most out of the next probably 2 laps on those softs. Prince doesn't want a soft one now. He needs at least a little bit more push and a little bit more push back, I suppose, if you like. So we'll just watch that battle as we go. The other battle actually is in the Verkmerk.
Oh, Prince. Yep, he's really trying to push because he needs to get in front. There's not many laps to go. He's on 8-lap-old softs, and I think KLX has got a bit of a smile on his face at the moment, feeling like a bit of a playboy up in P1, no doubt. Verk, he's still pushing. So is Tyler. He's under 3/10 on the back of Verk. He's in the Alpine, and I reckon Ads will be absolutely biting his nails watching his number 1 driver at the moment. Just going through Sector 2, opens up the back wing, pushing onto the back of the Mercedes. Verk doing very well up in the P5.
Oh, Prince goes around the outside Prince, into Graveyard. Oh,
Prince got it.
The Prince got it done. He got the DRS for good measure as well. Oh, man, that was so sketchy, but also so well done. Now, look, KLX is going to get the DRS down the main straight as well. So we're just going to sit with this battle for the meantime. Goes a little bit deep there, KLX.
Tyler and Verk side by side into 13. Tyler got the move done. He got it done. So Verk, he's suffering on those softs, and Nick Thompson is going to want to get the move done, I reckon, on his team principal here. Let's see if he's going to let him go. He's got the run. He's going to go up on the inside. Oh, and he's going to let him go, Verk. He pulls out. He says, all right. Tomo goes wide.
Tomo goes over the grass.
They did not pull that one off very well at all, and Verk goes straight through, so Tomo will be absolutely spitting fish on chops at the moment over in New Zealand.
Chops. And Brocco's out. Oh, where was that? Oh, that's turn 2.
Turn 2.
Oh, there will be no safety car.
Remaining.
There will be no safety car. There will not even be a virtual, I don't believe, as we are too late in the race.
No, just a yellow flag.
Just a yellow flag. Yep, that's it. That's all she wrote. That car is already off the track.
KLX has got the run. KLX has got the run on the outside going into turn 8 into turn 9.
Yeah, side by side now. He's going to get DRS again.
Oh, contact. He pushes Prince wide.
Oh, that has to. Gillard goes through.
Straight through.
Gillard's going to have a look down the outside into turn 13.
Gillard
the nearly Prince. Gillard takes the lead. Gillard takes the lead of the race.
Gillard could be looking at his first Tier 1 win, although he does have a penalty, so that's going to come back to bite him. He's got a 3-second penalty.
Really is. That is 100% going to come back to bite him. And we can put his first place in the obituaries in the newspaper tomorrow morning, because that is unfortunate for that man. For that penalty, damn. But never mind. Onwards and upwards. At least he can say on track he won. Hopefully with 2 to go. Oh, what a squiggle there from Prince. No, he's pushing hard.
Softs.
There we go. There's that 10. They are screaming. They are screaming like page 4 of the adult magazine. Just, oh my goodness.
They're screaming like a pregnant woman 24 hours into labour. Let me tell you, they are letting everyone know about it, those tyres. But he's holding on. I think Prince is going to hold on to P3 because there's a 1.5 gap to P4 in Tyler at the moment, who's still contending with Crispy. Crispy's on the later tyres, but he's got a good run on the Alpine here. He really does like his chances, getting a very good tow.
DRS as well.
Trying to stay ahead.
Good
up on the outside.
Crispy.
The Ferrari, the engine, the father of motorsport, just puts the Alpine in his place on lap 28 through turn 9 and 10.
Oh, Prince gets a 3-second
time penalty.
That's going to hurt him too.
At a podium. Crispy is looking at a podium.
If he can just keep it under that 3 seconds, 2 laps to go.
Gillard
1.5 laps to go.
Inside. Gillard gets the job done. Prince is fighting with P2 at the moment. Oh, they've touched. Keeps the car together. I don't know how we did that. This is absolutely unbelievable racing from these three. Just trying to bring it home with about a lap to go as they come around turn 14, lap 28. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. KLX has got a run with about 2.5 tenths to make up into turn 1. Is he going to have a look? No, he won't. He's going to really put the pressure on Gillard.
Look at the battery left on board the Williams compared to Gillard, who's actually flashing. He has burnt up a storm.
Wow.
Yep. This is going to be interesting. Nick Thompson gets a 3-second. The penalties are starting to come thick and fast and all over everybody's board. That won't matter.
But KLX, if he can just line this one up, of course, he's got 73% of battery, so if he can just really execute these exits, it's going to be absolutely glorious for him. And it's not that clean, is it?
It's not that clean. He needs to get a decent run, but he is going to burn up a storm. He's going to get it done here. He's going to get it done very, very easily. Down the inside goes KLX, and he knew it. He is smart enough to know that he had enough battery in the bank, and he knew that that's where he was going to do it. all over that
That's good enough
curb.
for the race win. It's good
That
enough for
is
the race
good.
win.
And now Gillard goes wide.
Prince up on the inside has to get room, and Gillard gives it to him. They both got time penalties, so this is for second place here.
This is for second place on the track.
Got the move done on Crispy. So Tyler's up in a P4. Crispy's going to come back on the inside. Crispy gets the job done. Across the line, it's going to be KLX. If he can just hold it together, Gillard's really pushing Prince to come over, but it looks like KLX is going to win. He wins in round 3 for the first time in Season 5. Well done to the Williams driver. Prince is going to come across in P2 on those 12-lap-old softs. Gillard P3, back-to-back. No, Crispy gets the podium with the time penalty to Gillard, who will finish in P5 with Tyler in P4 in the Alpine. Verk P6 with Nick Thompson in P7. Oh my goodness, what a race. It'll be Daniel Starr who will bring home points in P8. So that's it, Marty. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, what a finish.
Oh my goodness. I don't even have what we've just jumped to someone who's sitting in the pit lane. Look at these guys, they're sitting on the front of the car. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing.
Get off the car, you
get
muppets.
Off. It's like a few $1 million car, you
$1 billion
weirdos.
car.
Like, what's wrong with you? God,
They're all
absolute
fine.
lunatics. They're all yeah, 100%. Yep. Let's go to
KLX.
HR. Let's get rid of them.
KLX, well done, mate. What a fantastic drive. So we'll get KLX in the chat. They can just jump in because we're in the Tier 1 chat at the moment. So KLX, Prince and Crispy will get in for their chats after getting on the podium. So, I mean, there was a red flag. We saw a lot of DNFs tonight, the most that we've seen probably in any race in Inter's history, I'd have to say. Yeah. But, that's what happens. And we're going to roll with it.
I don't even have words. I can breathe again and I can blink again. Let's just say that. So let's just run through some of this this board while we can.
It was a good finish to the race. How about that, Marty? It was a good finish. Adrenaline was high to finish that one, and we saw some good racing. It was just unfortunate so many incidents. Well, a few incidents with so many DNFs. That's just the unfortunate. A few safety cars. So.
I mean that was actually one of the most exciting races we've had in a while. As unfortunate as it was for the DNFs. Shout out to those boys. Hope you guys are all good and you can move on to next week. I think next week is Monza, is it?
It is. We're going
Monza next week. We're going to the Temple of Speed.
Yeah, and we know that's one of Ferrari's home tracks.
Oh, absolutely. Very, very close to Maranello there.
Yeah, Ferrari Maranello, of course. Yep.
Just
those two
down.
words go together like friggin' bread and butter, and
yeah, even the dog agrees. He's out there barking. He knows. Yep.
That's right. So we'll just wait for the drivers to get in here from the podium. They're obviously just getting out of their cars and having some water. That's what they'll be drinking.
Yeah, rinsing the pee and scraping the poo out of their suits, I think.
Yep, just letting the dust settle. There was a lot going on in that race, and we may as well. We'll kick it off with Prince. He's in here, so that was P2 for Prince. After that, he did choose the soft tyres, and he had to go about 10 laps racing on those. And it looked like he got the job done there. He did get in front of KLX, but just back and forth. KLX had a lot of ERS in store, and that really came back to bite him. Of course, there was a bit of, really side-by-side racing there. I think at one stage Prince came off in turn 10 in the graveyard going side-by-side with KLX. So, look, I'm not sure if there's going to be any reports, but fantastic racing in the second half of that, Prince. Just give us your feedback from that race, mate.
Oh, mate, I'm losing. I'm fucking A, bro. That was mental. I got no words, honestly. It was crazy. Every bit of it. Yep.
The adrenaline flowing still. It's hard to really make sense of races like that when there's just so much going on. Look, are you happy with your result at the end of it?
The result is okay. The execution was pretty piss poor all around. Quali was not good enough. The race was not good enough. Didn't have the meds at the end to go on to.
That was it.
So I had to go on something, So yeah, it was it was a crazy race. The last 10 laps were super sweaty. Pretty disappointing that less cars finished than like half of the grid. More than half the grid DNF. That's crazy, but The red flag, wasn't expecting that, didn't even know that was on. Bro, it's just been mad. It's just been crazy. What the hell?
Yeah, there's a lot going on, no doubt about it. There was an incident, turn 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure, where, there was like 5 DNFs. I think it was Miller who went around and his car was like sideways in the track, and there were other cars trying to avoid and going through there. There was no chance getting through with a few other cars DNFing, and it was mad. So they brought out the red flag in game and left it with, I think there was 9 cars on track. So yeah, just one of those races, and glad you survived and you got P2 for the podium. Marty, anything you want to add before we move on to Crispy?
No, it looked like a hard race out there, mate. It was just hard across the board, really. Obviously, avoiding incidents was the main part there, and penalties as well. So penalties across the board started flying thick and fast towards the end. How do you feel about Albert Park as a track, mate? Is it one of your better ones, or did you find it a bit of a struggle out there? No?
I always struggled with setup here. I never know what to go with because it's just the curbs and different types of corners, and it's really hard to get right. But just lack of execution all around, like getting the penalty not good enough, race pace was nowhere near good enough. Just made really bad mistakes, and it almost cost me big time. But luckily it didn't in terms of points. So yeah, we brought it home.
Nice.
Oh, and apparently Crispy has some Lightning McQueen footage from before the red flag.
Okay, we'll wait to see that.
Yeah. Alrighty, cheers, boys.
All right, Prince.
Right,
Thanks for
cheers,
joining
buddy.
us, mate. We'll see you next week in Monza. All right, so we do have Crispy in here, the Ferrari driver, the Tier 1 Ferrari driver. That's his first podium in Tier 1. Outstanding drive. He managed to avoid the mess going through there earlier on in the race, and had some really good battles there with Tyler in the Alpine coming through there, and with Gillard as well, and managed to take advantage of Gillard's 3-second penalty and picked up his first podium in P3. So, Crispy, mate, congratulations. Outstanding drive, and you're pretty happy to finish on the podium, mate.
Hey, mate. Yeah, I'm real happy, to be fair. That was the most chaotic race I've ever been part of. I don't know what was going on. Basically, 3/4 of that whole race, I was just trying to drive and stay alive. It was everywhere. It was nuts.
So
Yeah,
would it be fair to say that it was Drive to Survive? Just like
100%.
Drive, like the TV series, Drive to Survive.
Yeah, it was crazy. Right before that red flag, I come around turn 1 and 2, and turn 1 I missed about like 3 or 4 cars. Come into turn 2, and it was literally like a roadblock of about 7 cars, I think, and it was like a zigzag course. It was nuts.
Yep.
I want to
Crazy.
see as much footage from there as I can, because it looked crazy, man. Some of those onboards from Matty AU were just nuts trying to avoid the carnage through there. Just pieces of car everywhere and just nowhere to go for those drivers. So I really feel for those guys just coming through, and lucky to avoid it, like you said, but scrapping really hard there with Tyler. How was that at the end for you?
Yeah, well, I was in a party with Tyler, so we were kind of giving each other a wee bit of cheek most of the time, but it's quite good when you're able to battle with your mates like that. It was just a bit unfortunate on his end that he, coming into, I think it was like the 4th last turn, he locked his brakes on that last DRS. Locked his brakes up coming into the corner and slid wide and just basically gave me the position back. But I think if he didn't pass me there and just sat behind me, I think he'd be up in the comms box here. But unfortunately,
He's actually is in the comms box.
Yeah, funny you
Tyler,
say
you
that.
want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I actually just asked Tyler to get in here in the chat there before. I just thought we'd have a quick word before we get our poll sitter. And Tyler, mate, you were just looking to pick up the pieces, eh? What's your view on the whole thing?
Mess. It was a very messy race, but fun through the midfield fighting with the Mercs and with Crispy, as you know. I'm still very annoyed about that last, 4th last turn lock. It was such a skill issue on my end.
Are you running? You're running no ABS, mate?
Yeah, I'm running nothing.
Nothing. Oh, not even driving line.
No.
Oh, well done, bro. That's awesome. Oh, shout out to you, mate. That's amazing. Nice.
I mean, Prince's too. We can shout him out for that.
Yeah, true that. We know what Prince is like.
I don't really feel like I deserve this podium right now.
Still got
the line on.
I mean, you guys can switch if you want. Nah.
I'll let him keep it.
Fair enough. All right. Cheers for joining, Tyler. Just wanted your 2 cents, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Great race out there tonight, mate.
Anything more for Crispy before we move on to our race winner?
No, nothing on my end, man. Just
Yeah,
a great
no.
race, and hopefully you see me more. Hopefully.
We'll see you next week on the podium, eh? Let's go, Monza.
We'll
Temple
see,
Speed.
man. It's hard. It's hard stepping up to here, man. These boys are fast.
It's nerve-wracking stuff, yeah, no doubt about it. But yeah, you held your medal pretty well out there, and you got your podium just 3 races in, so you're doing outstanding for Ferrari. I'm the team principal, so get in there, Crispy, and we'll see you next weekend, mate. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Right, we do have the race winner, KLX, in here. KLX, the Williams driver, was taken pick 1 overall in the Season 5 draft. Of course, was McLaren last season, and yep, he's in the Williams this season. He's right behind, actually, in contention for the chip this season. He's right behind Prince, just 1 point behind, so this will put him in the lead 3 races in. So, KLX, how was it out there for you today? And I'm sure you're happy with the race win. Congratulations, and overall leading the championship.
Yeah, cheers, lads. Yeah, it was a pretty up and down race, to be honest. It was pretty fun, though. Of course, we had that red flag early on with the DNFs. Of course, unfortunate for my teammate, DNF, but you know, that changed up the race completely. It was actually quite fun. I haven't had that in the league race yet, so was good to experience that. Yeah, no, and then I chose the hards to the end there. You know, built up a pretty nice gap, and then we had another safety car, so I chose mediums to the end. It was around 10 laps to the end, and then Prince, of course, chose the soft, so that was quite an interesting strategy choice. So yeah, that made it quite interesting. So I had a nice battle with Prince in the last laps, and yeah, just edged him. Saved a bit more ERS than I think the rest of them, so I was able to control the gap a bit more on the straight, especially towards the end there. But I had a couple of good battles with Prince and Gillard, so that was enjoyable. And yeah, good to seal off the win as well.
Oh, definitely, man. You really did line up that excess amount of ERS. I think you had like 68, 70% going into the final lap, and everyone else was under 10%. So yeah, really well done there by you to save that and use it to your advantage at the end. You really lined it up at Gillard at the end. Of course, he had the 3-second penalty, but you want to get the race win, and you executed that superbly. Prince actually didn't have another set of mediums, so he had to choose a tyre. He had to go with the softs. Obviously, the hards probably wouldn't be the raciest tyre to go on there, but yeah, some really good battles here at the end with Prince, and you got the job done in the end. So, Marty B, anything you want to add before we wrap this one up and head on to round 4 at Monza?
Oh, just what a hectic race. I'd like to say we were speechless, but if anything, ironically, it made us just jibber jabber more about the intenseness of what was going on, man. Those closing stages, dude, just such clean racing between you and Prince. A lot of pressure from behind as well. Yeah, nothing more from me, really. Just a fantastic race, bro. Well done. That puts you, I think, like Broseph said, ahead now in the chip. So we can't wait for Monza next week. Let's go for Tier 1. I can't wait.
Beautiful. All right, KLX, well, thanks for joining us tonight, mate. Congratulations on a race win. I'm sure it's a consolation for Aussie, who bowed out in that DNF. But, yeah, he'll be happy with seeing you on top of the podium this weekend. So congratulations, and we'll see you at Monza next week, mate.
Yeah, cheers, lads. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Beauty. Of course, KLX will have a bit to sort through in the incident reports, I'm sure. There's a bit going on in the chat at the moment. Yeah, we're looking to get a bit of footage from all of those drivers. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's the way it goes sometimes when you're racing, Marty, with those cars out on track. Sometimes, just ends a bit not going your way. A bit like you last night, unfortunately, caught up in something that just wasn't your fault. And, yeah, it happens, mate. So it's pretty good racing out there for the last few laps. A lot of adrenaline going on and some really nice racing. Just want to wrap it up before we get out of here, mate.
Yeah, just some unfortunate moments out there, but never mind. Let's all clear our heads and move on to round number 4 next week. So as ever, I have been Marty B in Sky Race Control with Broseph, and we will see you in 7 days on Sunday for round 4 at the Temple of Speed in Monza. Peace.
Shout out to Jeneth. Peace.